Okay, let's get started. All right, good evening, everyone. There we go. Got that. Cool. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's stream. It is 12:34, which is that's perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4. We like that. I'm Eric, and welcome to the editing session tonight. Once again, we're working on B52, which is the Arthur Conan Doyle thriller directed by, or I guess written and directed by Elena Critter. And we are continuing our work on the main scene of Madeline and Arthur in Robert's study, attempting to steal his money. We've just gotten to opening the safe, and now we're going to we're going to continue on and see how we do. Um, as always, this stream is designed for like to talk about editing, but we want to we want to make it a platform for all kinds of filmmaking questions, all kinds of filmmaking topics. If you have thoughts, by all means, feel free to share them. If you have feedback on what we're editing, on the scenes that we're doing and the moments that are working or aren't, please feel free to comment. Um, if you are part of the cast or crew of this, if this is Elena or Nick or Adam or John or anyone else or Annabelle, anybody, Denzel, anyone on set who wants to weigh in on your thoughts on stories from the set, any of that, your feedback and input is always welcome. Yeah, if you're a filmmaker or an editor who's got questions about filmmaking or about the editing process as well, please by all means feel free to weigh in. Would love this to be a conversation and to be a useful resource to anyone who is wants to be part of it. Because otherwise it's just me sitting here clicking a lot, and that can get boring if you're not completely immersed in it. So anyway, um, as always, we do this to pull the curtain back on the editing process, to share kind of what goes on behind the scenes. Um, to if you're a director, to uh, kind of help educate or not not necessarily educate, but like uh, if you're a new filmmaker who's not entirely sure what the process of editing entails, we're here to do some of that and kind of show as much as we can. And if you're an editor, we are here in solidarity. Sorry, we yeah want to do this to share our input with you, share your work and your input with us, and just remind everyone why editing costs as much as it does. Because, geez, editing is one of the in terms of like the balance between importance to the filmmaking process, and not that anything hits a zero on that scale, but in terms of importance to like general knowledge of and therefore expected compensation of, editing probably has the biggest discrepancy. Maybe up there with sound, but I guess and workload required. But anyway, with all that said and all those notes, and I'm going over 5 minutes, let's go ahead and jump right on in. We are back here in Premiere. And I stress it every time, and I will continue to stress it, that it does not matter what program you edit in. So whether you're editing in Premiere or iMovie or Avid or Final Cut or Windows Movie Maker or DaVinci Resolve or whatever you are editing in, what matters is the art you put into the cuts and the way you construct the story. So let's see how far we get tonight. We're definitely going to get to opening the safe. We might even get to. I've pulled out the shot list of what we're catching up on, and we've talked in the past about how we color coded the shot list for this movie based on the characters that were, who based on whose shot it kind of is, whether like not necessarily who's in the shot, but whose kind of style of filmmaking is dominating the story at that moment. Whether it's Arthur's kind of more handheld, more focusy, more frenetic kind of style versus Madeline's smooth and deep focused movement. Um, so yeah, we color coded that, and depending on how far we get, a I did pull out the next page of the shot list, and we've got a new color on there, which means we had something new coming in potentially either tonight or Wednesday when we get there. Anyway, let's talk about where we left off. So we have. Also, I'll let this play. I will mute it and I'll let this play. So we've made it into the room. Of course, I can still hear it, so this might distract me. But yes, we've made it into the room. We've got Arthur has crossed the threshold and closed the door, which is kind of a small but important detail. And now we're going to discover the room along with him as much as we can. Kind of comes over toward the moon. She's watching. And then knock on the door. Honestly, I'm wondering if that dude, if there's any chance that guy wasn't looking for the bathroom, was coming in to try to rob the place like these two are. I don't know. Depends how well he knows the house. But there we go. And that shot of the safe there was our, if you were on the stream last time, was our cover for needing to cut from this side of the room to this side of the room. But I had a thought and I had a realization that we're going to talk about in a second. I want to tweak this safe shot because it is a little weird. We can all agree on that. You know what? Here's a couple things I want to do to that safe shot, but let's go ahead and yeah, let's not worry about it for now. It's normally I'm 100% a fan of like shots kind of coming in and tilting a little bit and giving that kind of weird vibe. This one I kind of wish I didn't have that. I may go back and revisit that one. I'm gonna pop that up here as a thing to revisit. But anyway, um, so one thing I will admit that I don't love, not that I don't think it works, but I do not love this cut here. That might be a sound thing because the sound does noticeably change between the two, and like it's one of the reasons we said that if you have good sound, your like good sound is like 1,000% more important than we think it is, um, because uh, like man, any change in sound, even change like that, changing from we have shots where we have the same mics going, same audio recorder, same the whole thing, same settings probably all the way across, minus a few fluctuations, whatever Emma was doing, who was our sound person, but um, even just like when you hear the sound, just the tone in the room change between takes or between shots, it does really pull you out of it, or it really can. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at this is a shot that we didn't think we needed. Um, uh, where we kind of decided that this shot from the other side of the room sort of accomplished the same thing. Um, and did it better. So we didn't think we needed it, but I'm wondering if there's a space to put a little tiny clip of this in uh, as she crosses to the safe. Okay, literally just looking at that one last moment. Oop, went to the wrong thing. Wish I'd tweaked my angle a little more here. Let's see. Know what I think it is? Give me 1 second. Need to throw this up on the big monitor to see if I'm seeing what I think I'm seeing. Oh, okay, okay, cool. I wasn't sure. I was seeing this shadow on the floor here, and that was my first thought was that was a shadow from the boom pole somehow. Um, but it's not. It's the shadow of the dangling uh, chain from the lamp. So that's okay. Okay, I think I like take two for the tiny reason that Arthur keeps his eyes. Take two or take one. Hang on. Yeah, I think I like take two best because Arthur is looking more at the door. So I'm gonna cut this earlier than I need to, and we're gonna do that fake bit where it seems like this room is 10 miles long. Cool. I'm not sure this is gonna work, but I'm gonna try it anyway. Because I like looking back at that, uh, looking back at the last cut, I was like, I should way to make that cut from safe to thing a little smoother. Put a cut. So I'm just gonna cut the sound here. Pull this in. I kind of want that to be. I keep switching timelines here. Kind of like. This might. Let's see. Now I'm doing sound work that I don't necessarily need to be doing, but that's not too much longer than it actually takes her to get across the room. Adding maybe a half step there. Okay. Here's what I want to do. I know I want to reframe this. I go to 150. I'm gonna see. Can I see the two of them? Or can I see everything here if I want to do it that way? That looks weird. Doesn't show you enough of the room. And that is something I liked about this shot was that it did kind of give you that. Thank you, Premiere. All right, this is also something we can use to fake a little bit of a move. Then position. And as he sits down, we can kind of move down with him a little bit. That actually works pretty well. It needs a little bit more of a there. Come forward a frame. Let's get this to ease in. That isn't bad. That actually might work. And now we can go ahead and cut to pull this out. Let's see, we're going to pull that audio back. And we're going to pull the audio from the safe. Put a cut there. We don't need to see all this. That's what B-roll is for. Okay, probably don't need that either. So let's go ahead and let's go like back to our actual shot of them from the side, which is somewhere in here. There it is. Cool. Yeah, so we grabbed. So again, the question of how long do we want to wait to actually open the safe? Let me get a drink here. I think I'm gonna lean to making it quicker. I'm just gonna use the footage and see how far I feel like it needs to go. All right, let's watch some shots of them sitting here. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's watch a shot of. Let's get the shot. Let's see how far this shot goes. Yeah, I don't think we ever got the safe open in that shot. Now we get it open in the other one. Okay. Let's put a cut there. Okay, so we're now gonna take this moment. I'm gonna probably switch up the audio. I don't exactly love the begin. Like I know like this is one of those moments where it's like, all right, I know. Paste. I know logically when she's opening the safe, like she has her hand, she has her hand resting on top of it, and she's turning the thing, and then she opens it, or she's trying to open it, and it's stuck. And I know story-wise, it is actually stuck. It's not that she's faking it, but something about that last shot where she had her thumb actually on the door of the safe is like, I don't know. My read of that is that she's holding it closed, and we don't like that. That's not what's happening. It's not a good representation of the scene. That works. Cool. All right, let's go back to that same shot. not this one. It's this one over here. There we go. Let's find that one where she lands on the final number. Yep. Everybody loves that moment where the safe finally lock. We finally find the final spot in the safe, so we're gonna cut that. I imagine I can trust Peter, our sound wizard, to, even though it's not realistic, to give us a nice audible like click, or the everybody loves the sound of safe opening with the hearing the tumblers like lock into place. I'm also gonna bring this forward 150%, I think, so that it really is. So we really do focus on the safe there. Actually, with it that far forward, we might be able to pull this out a little more. Yeah, we'll see if we need that. Cool. So we got two good moments there. Let's take a look at the rest of this stuff. All right, let's take a look at the next shot, which is this one. Nope, not this one. It's over here. All right. So we know we need takes of this. We'll look at. Gonna look at Elena's notes when I get to there. Let's look at these takes. We got two of them that we liked. Actually, no, I'm gonna pull up Elena's notes. Let's all hold for 1 sec. I'll keep talking, but yeah, gonna pulling up Elena's notes is usually a good thing just to see her thoughts on each take. At least in this case, usually with stuff like this, I will watch the takes. Like for dialogue and for performance and stuff, and for just camera movement, I will watch the takes. Uh, kind of like absent Elena's feedback first, and then watch them with Elena's feedback. Let's see. This is, what shot are we on? This is K. So not far enough yet. There we go. J and K. Excellent. Okay. Now we're back. Cool. Elena's notes here. K. Yes, we said we liked that. That's what she liked, the knife in that shot. But liked. Let's see. Yeah. K. Yeah. K takes 1 and 2 both got pink marks, which means she liked them, and they both have good notes. Okay. Cool. So I'm actually gonna keep that up for now. Go back to Premiere. Let's go ahead and save. But yeah. So for scenes takes that are much better, more performance heavy, or are more um in some ways detail specific, because this in some ways this safe opening moment is kind of like, I mean, in the script it says, let's see, um written to say, Arthur rises from behind the sofa, she unlocks the combination, but the safe door is stuck. Like, that's the entirety of this moment. So this moment is entirely what we make it. At this point we have the opportunity to, like, look at the screenplay and say, okay, this is not, we don't need to make a big deal out of this. The opening the safe is, or the more important thing is the two of them at the safe, and the fact that the door is stuck, and he's gonna help force it open, so they're working together. Um, and then actually what's inside it. So we get, this moment is not one we need to really, gild the lily over. But sorry, stretching my legs as I talk. Uh, ooh, that felt good. Um, but it's not like, it also means we have an opportunity to make something out of it if we have something to make out of it. So let's see. And we know we like the second take here, at least with the knife. There's a cut there I can use if I need to. Okay, let's go and put that cut there. Also, I probably will put a cut here just because there's a good opportunity for it. It would clear out some space, like some dead air that doesn't necessarily need to be there. The the never-ending battle between are we creating tension, or are we just or do we just have a movie that has boring moments in it? So let's take a listen to. I kind of like the second take. I like that take that there's a little bit more of a little more of like him sort of fumbling. I'm gonna put a cut there because I definitely want to put something. Oop, wrong thing. Let's take this one. Cut that. Cut it. There we go. It's better. Because I want to introduce the next. We talked about this at the beginning that you want to like if you can introduce, if you can sort of, you know, within each beat as like beat as one beat wraps up and the next beat's about to begin. If you can introduce a main shot from beat 2 at the end of beat 1, it makes the transition into beat 2 smoother. And I like that. Let's go ahead and put this here. Okay, that seems to work. Cool. All right, let's go back to here and take a look and see which of these takes look the best when they're working on opening the safe. All right, we were having the question. I forgot about this. I'm gonna save and I'm gonna do a big yawn. There we go. Ah, stretch as much as you can when you're sitting at a desk editing forever. Um, we're having this debate of whether or not he actually spikes the lens or not. Hang on one second. Gonna mute myself for a quick sec. Okay, sorry about that. There we go. I've enlisted the help of an Italian expert, uh, who's going to tell us if she notices anything weird about these takes, and I'm going to watch them with. So we'll watch till the end, and then we'll talk. Cool. Here we go. Okay, that's one take. Let's look at the next one. Once they kind of get into the opening. Okay. Did you notice anything? Did it when he looked at her? Did it look like he was looking at the camera? Okay. Okay. That was that was the thing I couldn't figure out is whether or not that looked like he was hitting the lens or not. Cool. Thank you. This is why as an editor, it's also a bad idea to edit on your own, whether you like ideally you have the director in the room or you've got someone you can bounce ideas off of, because you can very easily get too close to this stuff and not and have things that you think don't work that actually do, or things that you think do work that actually don't. It's one of the reasons that basic film uh like basic film logic, not or not basic film school logic is don't write, direct, and edit your own films uh because if we're talking about the three kind of pillars of like creative decisions on filmmaking, it's writing, directing, and editing. And if you're doing all of that, it means there's no one else's input, um, or at least not necessarily anybody else's input coming in. You can end up getting tunnel visioned and miss stuff. If you are doing that, if you are writing and directing and editing your own projects, make sure you have uh, make sure take the people who you trust the most and who will have no problem telling you if you fucked up, and get their opinion or have them on set. Okay, so this is a small detail. I think this is funny. Um, oop, wrong thing. Back to here. Go ahead and save. Also, Elena, when you watch this, do I don't know. I'm not sure if you're watching tonight or if you're watching if you'll be watching in the future. But let's see, you're not. No, you are not texting me. Some she'll text me during the streams to give me feedback. Um, let's see. Uh, there you go, and that's Shelby Lynn saying, uh, as a writer, definitely edit with other people. And Shelby Lynn is a poet, not even a filmmaker, um, which of course means she's a second-class citizen and should be ashamed of herself. But that aside, uh, it is she makes a good point that yes, even with writing, you can get too close to it and not have trouble being objective with it. Uh, I think that's true with anything emotional though. Anyway, let's while we wait for a snarky response or for her to like mail a glitter bomb to me to get me back for that comment. Let's keep watching. One thing I was saying is that I think this is the take we had this on. I don't even remember. Um, we did. My phone, I thought I set my phone on vibrate. Oh, I did not. That's why. Okay, that's why my phone was making noise. Problem solved. Uh, 1 second. Anyway, um, one of the I don't know if it's this take or if this is a different take, but one of the takes we did, um, the we didn't know, at least the crew here didn't know how long that safe was going to take to open because that dial is so many more times around than a usual combination lock because it's a much older safe, and we didn't know how long it was going to take. So I think part of it there's there's a version of this movie, and Elena, you tell me when you get a chance, which way you want to go with this, because we very easily could go a couple different ways. Um, if like there's a comedy moment here where we just don't cut, we stay in this take, and we just watch Arthur like getting more and more. You know what? The more I talk about this, the more I want to put it in the movie. I'm gonna put this in for now until we finally get to that last beat, because I think it's really actually I think it's like the more I think about it, the funnier I think it is that he's just sitting there getting like checking the door, checking her, like waiting for this thing, and whether or not it's interpreted as her messing up, or it's interpreted as um, uh, whether it's interpreted as like it's just a long combination and he's sitting there waiting for it. Honestly, I think this is kind of funny. And if we want to lean into some of the comedy leaning into some of the comedy right before the safe opens and we really introduce more danger elements to the project, I think this is pretty good. Uh, it almost goes on long enough for it to start feeling less like a tense moment and more like a and almost more like an acting exercise. Some of him closing his eyes there is honestly really funny to me. Okay. Um, this will work if we do this as this single take that just goes on for a full minute. Um, yeah, if we just do. How long is this take actually? If it starts at 31:07, it's almost a full minute. I think that's really funny. Um, I can almost guarantee Elena's going to tell me to scrap that and shorten this to make it reasonable, but I'm gonna try because I'm gonna start with this because my it's the first cut. My instinct is this is funny. I don't think I think he does more. I think the first take is better in this case because I think in the second take we expected what was happening to happen. Yeah, he's a little more focused on it. He's a little more uh he's checking with her a bit, but he's not checking as long. Like I think I'm gonna try this first take and see how long it before Elena tells me no. Uh, Elena, this is what happens when you're not on stream. I start just playing with your movie. Start making your movie weirder. I'm trying to think of movies that have done like there's movies that have used this kind of comedy, but like, oop, that's the wrong thing. As a bit before, and like I mean not just comedy, uh, but especially because like opening a safe. All right, so we're gonna cut we're gonna cut a good bit off of this bit here. Let's cut the whole thing. There we go. Actually, you know what? I'm realizing how to make this even funnier if I'm gonna go this direction. And Elena, I'm going this direction, so sorry. Um, honestly, tell me not to do this because I'm now turning your film into an anti-comedy. Uh, but this might like honestly like there's a like I said in the script it is just she unlocks the combination but the door is stuck. That's all it says. Yeah. Um, that's all it says. So yeah, in typical typical editing rules, that just means okay. Like um yeah, typical editing fashion just means hang on, let's put a cut there because that's what I'm going to use. Typical editing fashion says okay, just that's don't make a big deal out of this. This moment is just as long as it needs to be, and yeah, just let it kind of be a quick thing so that we can continue on with the story because this is not a moment that the story needs to stop for. However, like uh, like I said, it also gives us an opportunity to do something to be silly with it. Um, and it's almost a chance to fuck with the audience. That's kind of what I want to do right here because audience is like, all right, like we've already established it's a little bit tense. We've already established that the uh yeah, Shelby, let's not kid ourselves. I can't write three poems in 30 minutes. Like that's I might get three limericks in 30 minutes. I'm just letting you know. two two limericks and I can do two limericks and a haiku. Uh Anyway, what I was saying here is all right. So we know the stakes. We know what we're trying to do. We know we're trying to get like we're gonna get into the safe. That's the thing. Um, and yeah, the typical way to make a thing tense is to tell us, okay, we know here's the threat. Here's the bomb under the table. Here's the other people at the party who have no problem walking into this room. Um, and then here's the challenge, and then make the challenge take longer than you think, allowing for more time for people to come into the room. That's the basic element of tension in creating this little sequence. But I have this feeling that um let's see. Um, I have this feeling that all right, really, so he's really not looking at the camera right there. Okay. Um, I have this feeling that if like so yeah, typical thing is take this moment that the script didn't make a big deal of and try to make something tense out of it. That seems like that's like as an editor's job, it is my job to sort of like kind of shepherd the emotions and make the moments of the story feel emotionally real to get us through this. However, this is also I feel like if this goes on for long enough, it in some ways it can almost become like it starts out tense and it keeps getting tense. And I'm gonna add a little zoom on here so that it actually we have a little bit more tension there. Um, start with the scale, lock in the position, pull those back. I'm just gonna put a very small zoom. I'm gonna go like 130, so like that much of a zoom and a little bit of movement, just kind of up to there and over. So it's still very much about them. Actually, can I center them if I pull this down to kind of eliminate that, keep the headroom where it is? And then I push this back. Let's see how noticeable this zoom is. Yeah, it's nice and subtle. That's good. Alright, so let's go to there. Let's take both of these, put that there. Now we put the cut. There we go. And now that I've done that, that cut will, like, the zoom will continue at the same pace on both sides of the cut, which is excellent. Um, a weird thing in Premiere that can be the absolute bane of your existence, but uh, can also be useful for moments like this, which is probably why it's there. Um, anyway, yeah, so I so here's what this is gonna look like, or at least this version. So we moving quickly, we get them to. She starts working on the safe, and we assume the rhythm of this movie so far has been cuts. Rhythm of this movie has been like unless the shot has a lot of movement in it, we haven't really stopped. We haven't really had a moment that really just stops. And I feel like this kind of might do it. Honestly, I might actually take this zoom off because this might be funnier with nothing. But I feel like this shot, like I feel like this moment can be like it's tense, and then eventually you have to laugh. Assuming it's either becomes funny that we're holding on this shot for so long, or it becomes so tense you have to react somehow. Um, I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna see if I can get away with this little move. Um, and again, I'd say probably 60% chance that Elaine is gonna look at this and say, yeah, no, make that shorter and just like stop putting comedy beats and audience pranks in the middle of my movie. Um, which would be a valid response. All right, here's what we're gonna do though. You know what, let's not. I'll play with I'll play with doing something like this later. I'm just gonna put a cut there in case I want to use it. Um, I was considering making this beat a little bit longer, so it's like, we got to the final one, we did it, safe's open, and then she starts turning it again. Um, there we go, and now we keep going. Yeah, so there's a decent chance Elena's gonna tell me to grow up and stop pranking the audience, but uh, on the off chance she doesn't, I think this might be funny. Okay, so this now needs to just be, let's go in the other direction here. Kind of mid spin, that works. Let's put a cut there. Cut there. Let's see what I want to try something. I'm gonna trying ways to slow this down. Actually, I might be able to go more than that because that seemed to work. Let's go to 25. That's percent speed, by the way. Yeah. I don't know if we need the rest of this. We can just go to, because everyone loves that. Here's a note. We've talked about in the past about shooting B-roll and shooting inserts, and this sort of counts as an insert. It's somewhere in between. If this was a bigger, Hollywood feature, yeah, this absolutely would be. This wouldn't just be B-roll. This would be a second unit shot where, and these wouldn't even be Annabelle's hands. It'd be put somebody else's hands in the gloves and have them spin it so that Elena as director could be shooting scenes with the main cast where and not having to worry about the inserts and stuff like this. But um ah again stretching. Um but so let me I keep interrupting myself here. Uh, let's see. Okay. But yeah, if you were shooting moments like this, either as part of the main movie or as B-roll, um, stuff like this, opening doors, unlocking things, I mean almost any kind of insert where there's movement, where there's people moving things, um, do do it two different ways. Do it one way where the actor does it normally the way they would in the scene, and then do it another way where they take a lot of pauses between each motion. Um, because like if I was reshooting this, again, not that I in any way think we did a bad job, and not that this matters to a huge degree, but if I'm just suggesting tiny tweaks, this bit here where we're doing going this way, this is fine. This is the good speed for the characters. Um, this one here where we kind of hit that last number, and this is why I've taken this bit and kind of extended the moment a little bit. I would want to have like it kind of come in and stop at that number and then hold as kind of because everyone loves that moment where you're like unlocking a thing, turning, click, and everyone has that like that moment of like they did it. Like it's also I think it's a fun thing for the sound designer to be able to have that moment where they can put a nice like put some some resonance or some reverb on that click so there's a nice thunk to it. Um, so yeah, think even when you're shooting inserts, sometimes even more so when you're shooting inserts. We talked about doing scenes uh where the actors are, going, slow, fast, big, small, tweaking performances and tweaking, try it like you hate each other, try it like you're trying to be friends, so on and so forth. Just so you've got stuff to tweak in the editing room, and you can enhance the emotions they've already taken and given from their interpretation of the character. Same thing with inserts. Same thing with shots with those kind of shots. Let's see. All right, officials. It seems like every night lately is having an official political statement. The official political statement of the channel tonight is weed is fantastic, and everyone should smoke it because especially when you need to relax, because it is so helpful. Well, not everyone. If you have a bad reaction, don't do it. Uh, or if you're like a like deeply committed Mormon, uh, or actually, I mean, any kind of right-wing Christian conservative, I'm gonna say you shouldn't smoke weed, just because like you're probably a fuckhead and don't deserve it. All right, where were we? Okay, so let's go back to here. Back to this shot here where we finally get to that moment. So we've got a reason to cut. Not this one. This one here. Jesus, takes going for a while. Okay. Stephanie, we're on the same wavelength. And definitely dealt with more than your fair share of those kind of just, I don't know, like Satan touched creatures. So yeah, uh, your opinion is the one we'll be trusting here. All right, a little bit of movement here, but since nothing else is moving that might work. Okay, that moment's all right. Let's see how it looks in this take. I think I like the first take actually. I think I like this little bit here. So do a cut. Paste. So for back, I can go with this. And this will be again a thing that our sound designer will almost. Oh, there's nothing else there. Okay. Our sound designer will almost definitely make better use of by taking the isolated sound from the takes close to the door.
I got it.
Okay, cool. That's looking good. Um, all right. Stephanie, you are correct. I apologize. I did not mean to reference Satan as a negative. Uh, Satanic Temple all the way. Okay, so now we get to finally look at a different take, which is this one, uh, which is shot J. So script shot J. Yes, we like. That's J.5. we like take three. Take four we listed as good. They're all listed as good. Take three has got the pink. Take one does as well. So takes one and three are Elena's favorite. Let's take a look here. Let's say so we take one. So once again, we're only looking at the end here.
Sorry, guys, it didn't take.
No worries.
Oh, that's okay. We'll just keep rolling. Okay.
There.
We should have them stand back up and sit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. That's okay. It's building tension.
Yep.
Yeah. Arthur, the more in.
Camera rolls.
Actually, hang on. Is there more to that? Because if Elena keeps talking, I want to like. No, that's where that ends. Okay, but all right, Elena, did you hear yourself say this?
We'll just keep rolling. Okay.
We should have them stand back up and sit.
Yeah. Sorry. That's okay. It's building tension.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. Elena, you said it's building tension. I'm gonna use that as my justification for putting a solid minute of them playing with a safe in this movie. I'm using that as you said it. You said I could do it. You can't stop me. Need like an yeah. Need to like drop the raise the black flag and commandeer the picture. Uh, all right, let's see.
Oh, so sorry.
What did we just trip on there?
I got it.
Oh, so sorry.
I'm not sure what we hit there, but I think might have been either the boom pole or I think the dolly track was out of there at this point. Um, but um, but also just I mean theoretically it's the heels, and God bless her for doing this in heels. She's the only one on set in heels. None of us had to deal with that, and yeah.
I got it.
Okay. Okay, well, that makes it easy. The only take I can use is take four because it's the only one that gets both of them in that, which is like again, this is an interesting thing. This is why I say if you're an actor, checking out the editing process is a good idea, um, because I feel like a lot of actors, I feel like most actors. I mean, I know when I was acting before I started directing, even my first, I guess uh, my first feature was a movie that I like directed and was in and also edited, and there's a reason nobody ever gets to see that movie. Um, but uh, and I had a like I on that one I had a co-writer, co-star, co-director who like is even more adamant that no one get to see that movie. But uh, anyway, but the point I'm making is that as an actor, like you do the whole scene, and you really, for the most part, even just, I mean, depending on if once you've been on set for a while, you start getting a sense, and like a lot of times actors will ask like, okay, where's the frame? Like, are you getting my shoulders? Are you getting my neck? Are you getting like, is it just eyes? Is it, are you getting knees? Like, how wide's the shot? What's it? But still, without seeing it, a lot of the time, you don't really grasp the frame. Um, so for this moment here, like Annabelle sat down just slightly out of shot, uh, which is fine. I mean, it's fine for like it doesn't necessarily hurt the shot, but I like right now I want to have her on the side as well, so that narrows it down to this take. And this is also comes down to I'm sure like between takes we said all right this time let's try, lean in further than you think you have to. It's also worth noting we shot this on what lenses? What lens are we on? Um, I really don't believe we're on the 50 mil right there. We're probably on the 35. Um, but like we're on something of a wider lens, I think, which makes it exaggerates distance. So In reality, the two of them were might have been this close, but because it's on that lens, it looks like they're wider. So you have to be closer than you think you have to be in order to make use of it. Uh, let's see. Um, okay. So anyway, uh, go with this switch here. You don't need that little glimpse of went too far. Uh, this is once again me establishing. Yeah, I don't think we don't need the glimpse of her leg there. This is me establishing the beginning of the next beat in this beat. And his hand's starting to come up, which is perfect. Let's go ahead and take that. Oop. Not that, this. Premier, you have a nasty habit of trying to jump to the next clip. I know you want to see how the movie ends, but I can't tell you yet. It's a secret. You're not allowed to know. Paste. Okay, cool. So, drop this shot in. So I should stop that before we see his hand in this case, because they're moving at different speeds. Just trim a few more frames off of that. Give the audience information they need. Make sure that they have enough time to absorb it at the base level, and then move on. Also too much dead air there. Again, a couple of frames back. And delete. There we go. That works. That trims off the dead air. Doesn't feel like either take is starting or stopping when it shouldn't. And now we're pretty much... You sat through the minute-long take of them trying to open the safe. So now we are going to reward you by kind of continuing the movie. Alright, let's also do a quick copy of this. Let's do that paste attributes here. Actually, that can't do that. I got to do it this way. Uh, 1305.8 and 130. Cool. So we're gonna go to 130. And we're gonna go to 1305, which is pretty much the top of the frame, give or take. There we go. Actually, this one should stay wide, now I think about it. This one could come in a little bit to, let's go to 130 again. Let's kind of crank it over like that.
I got it.
You know, I'm regretting saying, let's just reset this and leave it where it is. Not messing with your movie. He said, he then continues to mess with the movie. There we go. I want to just balance that frame out a little more. I like the light and I didn't like the desk.
I got it.
There we go. That works. All right. Let's take a look at some of the other takes that we've got. And see kind of how we want to express this moment, because I know I know what shot's coming up. It's one of my favorites, but we're not there yet. So I want to see what our options are for expressing this this beat here.
Good.
Okay, we didn't do a shot of the safe opening from there. We can do a close with the safe opening with a knife? I thought we did. Back to the workroom, just double check this. Because we did. Movie ends with a like. There's a version of a movie like this where we we didn't shoot this take, but we could do a thing with like them trying to get it open, and then her being like, oh, fuck, I forgot the combination, and that's where the movie ends. um, really leaning into the like anti-art kind of vibe. Okay, so not a lot of options on this. Yeah, okay. Also, Shelby Lynn, your use of the word payoff is appropriate because we're about to see a whole bunch of money. Okay. This looks like our options are, yeah, and we've already been using take 4, so let's go ahead and continue.
How much do you want?
I'm going to do something about the framing on that shot.
How much do you want?
Cut. Cut.
How much do you want? How much do you want?
Cut.
Put that there. Cut. Hey, Shelby, you and I were talking the other night about jokes or about moments with no punchline, or moments that kind of, yeah, that kind of just the whole, yeah, 45-hour-long joke that built up to a pun. Alright, I'm gonna try to balance this shot a little bit. I go into 112. That's better. It's not exactly right. Let's go ahead and put the guides on. It's actually not too bad though. Let's if I go to 115, I think that works. Never gonna get the safe centered, but I can kind of get them centered, and I'm okay with that. Or get them closer to centered. And that shadow on him is her, which is fine. I could have honestly sworn we shot something where we see him putting the knife kind of wedging into the door. Could have sworn we had that take. Yeah, I could have sworn we shot something like that. I could have sworn I saw it, but doesn't look like it. That's all. Yeah, 'cause this is all pre-stuff. This is all. Uh, oh, what you're gonna do? You're gonna like do like a prank version of Homer. You're gonna write a whole epic poem and then have it end with a pun.
Yep.
Yeah.
That would. Uh, bless you. Everyone say bless you to Maria Lisa.
So sorry.
I got it.
Oh, so sorry.
That's everybody. Yeah, everybody tripping over stuff. Yeah, because when we had some, I guess we didn't. Okay. So we can look at this shot here. There's not a whole lot to see with him playing with the knife, so I think we'll just stick with this. We're gonna look at shot L with Elena's notes, which is rear 5L, point of view safe, second take. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, takes 1 and 2 we're take 3 so we nailed it on. So we're gonna take 3, which is over. We're gonna take a look at take 3, and this is the GoPro shot from inside the safe, which I may have fun, add a little bit of fake camera shake to. Uh, yeah, in post, like, I may add some fake camera shake here because this is supposed to be an Arthur shot, and this is the kind of thing that would rock Arthur's kind of world. So it would make sense to have some kind of something here. And like, I also really like the idea of using, like, I've got another film that I'm working on which has a similar kind of where I already know the first shot is going to be a drone shot with camera shake on it. Um, Partially because that just it's not a like it's it's not supposed to happen. It's supposed to thing where you're not supposed to get that kind of movement because it's supposed to be a mounted camera or a built-in steady cam. Um, but also because it's thematically appropriate. You see a whole bunch of money in something, and you would react a bit. So let's see.
Action.
I'm honestly impressed you can hear us from outside the safe.
Action.
Oh no, take it back. You can't hear us from outside the safe. You're hearing the audio, like the mics are outside the safe. The camera can't hear anything. I'm actually curious what the sound on this camera sounded like off of this. No, hang on, it's picking up some stuff. Let's see if it picked up anything when the door was closed. If I just solo this track. Okay, you catch action. And then door opens. And there we go. And now we're in the scene. Okay. So, let's go ahead and pull this moment.
Action.
Okay. And here was a fun thing I did that I'm actually pretty proud of. Um, the uh, Elena as a director, she and I have very similar visual styles, and especially in terms of color and lighting. We both like high contrast, and we both like bright, and both like strong colors. Um, and in this case, we were like, all right, what do we, the way, like, because the safe has no lights in it, and without lighting, you can't see what's going on. Like you get kind of the silhouette of the pile of money, but you don't get the lighting. Um, So I was like, all right, I've got, it's a metal safe. I've got lights that have little magnets on them and that are, color controlled. Let me go ahead and click one of those. Like literally, it's right out of frame here. At the beginning of this shot, like that's the reflection of it just in the middle of the door. Um, but that left us the question of like, okay, we hadn't thought of putting a color on there, but do you want to put a color on that? And we was like, well, it's money. Let's try it with green. And it actually ended up looking really good because once the money gets pulled out of the safe, which is going to be somewhere in here, like she reaches in to get the money. There's a little bit of green on her gloves, but not much because they're black and they're absorbing it. And then once the money's out of the safe, there's a little bit of spill of the green over here, but not much, and it ends up sort of being it just kind of works. It works really well as um
Stop it.
it ended up working really well as a way. It almost makes it look like the money is just green by itself. Uh, like I've said on this channel many times, it's not about something being real. It's about it's not about something being physically real. It's about feeling emotionally real. Uh, Um, yeah, so uh, yeah. Hey, Maria Lisa. So, Stephanie was this is a random, totally random aside, and I'm committing it to the internet forever. Um, Stephanie looked up secular ways to say bless you to avoid, having to bring in invisible sky daddy. Uh, and apparently there's a Serbian phrase which I'm about to completely mispronounce, which is pismako. Serbian. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't even guess what the accent is on that one. Pismako, Pismako. No, it's probably Pismako or something like that. Pismako. Um, and it's used after a child sneeze, but the direct translation is "Go away, kitten," which uh like that sounds like a good one. Um, but I had a friend, I have a friend who um wanted to be able to say God bless you, but like wanted to substitute in a God that she actually had some respect for. So she would say Cthulhu after sneezes, and I always tried to make that a thing. All right, let's continue here.
How much do you want?
So I know this first one was just them opening the safe. And we'll see where we go from there. Let's go ahead and take this moment. And cut. Of course, I wasn't exactly clever enough because we shot this in a different order, so I wasn't exactly clever enough to think, oh, we should put a light in the safe before we see what's in it. That is. Oh, that's the rest of the movie. Okay, we're gonna work on this part of the movie. Let's go ahead and paste. Nope, wrong thing. Not pasting that. There we go. So hopefully that's a thing we'll get away with. Cool. All right. Now we will.
How much do you want? How much do you want? How much do you want? How much do you want?
See. I'm gonna let this be in this other take because I kind of like that the way she says it here.
How much do you want?
This is one of the few times we're actually breaking our rule of keeping them on opposite sides of the frame. Ah, Uh,
How much do you want?
I actually like that cut. Okay, cool. Let's see. My notes on the next. Actually, not even notes. Now I just need to bring in new clips. All right, let's pull this stuff back. So we've reached the end of this the first first collection of things we brought in. What is this? That's the staircase stuff. Okay, that stuff will be deleted soon because soon Elena will be taking a look and giving us notes. So pull that back. We'll pull this down. And let's bring in our next collection of shots and hopefully get as far as I wanted to get on Friday before uh, the world turned upside down. There we go. So this is all the stuff we need. Here to there. Cool. Go ahead and copy that workroom. We can always copy out of the workroom. Uh, it's too much. Nope, it's perfect. That works. Okay. Let's see. Next thing. So close up on Arthur. Uh, Okay, it's pronounced peas macho. So, not too far off. Peas macho. And Adam, lean back for a sec. Perfect. Okay. Frame.
Action.
Frame.
Action.
I'm just gonna click through these real fast just to see what they are. Yeah, then we got close up, close up, close up, close up. This is one of the reasons in filmmaking, if you're a filmmaker and you are planning out your scene. Oh, I got to take out the. Oh, that's why this sounds awful. Give me a sec. Let's get rid of the camera audio here. Um, and you are planning out your scene. Obviously, movement is essential and movement is important. Um, but in this moment, this is a good example, just kind of thing. This moment, we are going from the safe to her standing up over by the desk. And to cover this, we have close-ups here and here. So we have two close-ups plus mediums as she gets up and moves.
Maddie.
She gets up and
Action.
moves. Uh, yeah, and then mediums, medium wides here. Shot and reverse. So shot, reverse, and then we did close-ups of that. So all of this is to cover um, literally a page. This is one page, and it is one page, two actors, one movement, and it is just under 20 minutes of footage to get through it. Uh, so we are, yeah. So now it's and here's and this number, like just covering the movement of two people because we're shooting. Yeah, we are shooting some coverage, and we do need moments like that, or we felt that. You need to close up at the safe because Arthur and Madeline's moment of reaction there is important, but you also need close-ups afterwards. You need close-ups afterwards the for the moment that's going to happen because it's an important it's important character work, but you also need a medium or a wide shot to explain uh, how we get from point A to point B because those are hard to do in close up. Um, or just not common to do in close up. You can do them in close up, depends on the movie, and it's definitely a thing that's doable. But uh, and this is just with two characters and effectively one movement. The more people you add, like the more people, like I know there are directors who were like, I'm never writing another dinner scene again because it's like, all right, you need, and if we're shooting a group scene, like, and we're shooting over the shoulders, you've got to shoot over both shoulders of everybody because, like, if I'm talking to you, you want to see over my shoulder, so that we're over this shoulder, whichever depends on your screen language. If I'm talking to you, you got to shoot over the shoulder there. But if I then talk to you later in the meal, now we got to do the same thing and shoot that way. So it's the more people you add to a scene and the more movement you add, you are exponentially increasing the number of shots. Uh, depending how you do it, you can also do big wide masters and leave it at that. If you watch there's a movie called Secrets and Lies by Mike Lee, starring Timothy Spall, um, and there's a shot in that movie. Hey you. Okay. Good night.
Good night, friends.
She says good night.
Good night.
Ah, not okay. Personal space. Go away. No touchy. Oh, I'm being assaulted. Good night. Uh, anyway, there's a scene in that it's a single shot of a dinner scene, and it is like I want to say it's at least 10 minutes. And it's a well composed shot. There's always movement. You're always interested in what's going on, and the story is really well crafted so that like what they're saying is interesting, and there's tension and like character drama without having to move the camera, um, or without having to change shots. But it's an impressive thing. Otherwise, dinner scenes can be obnoxious. Uh, all right. Stephanie says goodnight. All right. Once again, hmm? You too. Um, Shelby Lynn says it too. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at some of these shots. Let's pull up what Elena said about them. These are shots M and N and P and probably Q. Yes. Uh, the bird's eye trash can shot. We like the first one best. We'll see what happens. Um, okay, so we like take 2 of M. Great, good framing on the first one. That's fair. We like take 2 of N as well. Best, live with best. Uh, P uh, we like take 3. P.5 we like take 1 and take 2. That's a close up for that, just a moment there. Uh, Q we like take 2 and take 3. That's a nice touch, yeah. And then Q.5 we like take 1 and okay, hey, Q.5 take 3. We got a wow, and that tells you a lot. Okay, we're gonna watch a whole bunch of footage. Not if we're gonna spend 20 minutes doing it, but we're gonna watch a bunch of it. Here we go.
Sound rolling? Rolling. Camera rolls. Shot 5M, take 1. Hang on.
Okay, before I do this, let me go ahead and clear out some of these bits. Some of the.
You like it?
Yeah.
Cool. Frame.
Action.
Let me clear out the actions, at least maybe not the cuts, but at least the actions.
Cut.
Actually,
Stop it.
uh,
Take it off.
I love the way she moves through the light there. I really love that. Delete and delete.
Camera roll.
Action.
I've said this before on stream. This is something you'll get to notice as an editor. You get pretty good at like looking at the waveform and understanding the shape of the way your director says action. You can find the shape of it in the waveform.
Stop it.
Good. We'll cut there. Delete. Delete. Same deal. I think this is action right here.
Action.
Ha! I was right. Delete that. There's a lot of talking there. Is that all?
Sorry. Thank you, everyone.
All right, that's all set up.
1. 5.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. It's all set up. So clear that.
How much do you want?
Enough to get a bus home.
Cool. Let's see. Sorry. Cool. Where did we? There we go.
Take it off.
Stop.
as soon as she clears frame, we know we're not gonna. I'm not coming back to this, as far as I know. Let's delete that.
And take 2.
Okay. Another reason you don't always get to watch editing, and you don't get to watch the raw stuff that's you watch even an outtakes reel's been curated, um, because moments like this are surprising, and they make us look I don't think less than professional is the right word because that's not true. It's not less than professional. They just like there's this weird energy put out in the universe with filmmakers and artists in general that like they never struggle and that they like everything runs perfectly, and that's just across the board that's not true. There's always drama, there's always conflicts, there's always struggle, and there's always silliness. Like
2. God damn it! Sorry.
For the blooper reel.
Yep. Beautiful.
Yay!
Alright, do the clap. Alright, do the
uh, honestly, I'm more ashamed to
Take 2.
rolls.
Shot 5 and
I'm I'm more ashamed to to show clips of the whole unedited footage because I feel like a lot of times on camera I come across as a stick in the mud because everyone else is like, oh my god, that was funny, and I'm sitting there being like, let's just do this. Hate to say it, on set I often am that guy who's like, guys, we're like I'm the one looking at the watch. I'm all, like I hate to be that guy, but
Alright, do the clap.
shot 5 and take 2.
Cool.
Set action.
and again talking about overlap, not that we're gonna use this because we got the GoPro shot, but like this is an angle designed for no light go out. No, it's fine. Actually did a pretty good job with this. This is an angle designed for the second half of the take.
Take it off.
There we go. That edit exit's not bad. I think we're gonna want to be on Arthur for most of it. All right, here we go.
Frame.
Action.
All right, here's an actually really good example of what I was talking about with, like I'm talking about last time with there's get ready, action, and then there's a slight pause before people start. Everyone kind of clicks into gear. This is that right here.
Action.
That tiny little section, action before stuff happens. That's the moment that I was talking about. So I'm not like, and it's like it's not a slight or a critique of any of the actors, of anyone in this scene. Like this is a thing that happens to everybody.
Ready?
Cut.
You're not stupid.
I know.
Ready?
I know.
Ready?
Okay, we're gonna put the cut there. I'm not gonna delete that because I may end up using it. Because now we've gotten to the part of we've alright. So the money was a complicating element, and then we've got the money. Perfect. Everything is nope. We got to bring something else in. So we'll see.
Frame.
Action.
Yep. Starting on movement. Delete and delete.
Quick.
You're not stupid.
I know. I know.
I can put a cut there, so I know where to cut this. But we've got what's called a danger element coming in.
FQ take 3.
Also, can I just talk for 1 second about can't really see it. There we go. Let's talk for a second. A couple things. One, our slate PA here, Zakar, is was a student who came in and worked on this project. Was an amazing person to work with. Brilliant mind on this kid. Um, but also is the person outside the door, who's like Shadow is on the door asking Maddie where the bathroom is. Um, that's him. He's part of the crew. Um, but also back here, this is if you guys are wondering, because like usually behind the scenes shots, you like get shots of the camera and the camera crew and the director standing there like looking at it or the monitor or whatever. Um, you don't often get shots of the sound crew, this isn't a great one, but this is Emma back here. Um, like so first off she's got this vest on which is support it's support it's also it's got clips so she can clip in her whole like she's got a big sound recorder her ongoing joke on set was that she felt like she was pregnant just having this huge weighted like mixer in a bag attached to her front, but it's clipped onto that vest. The vest supports it. She's got that little bit of red there is I'm actually gonna not what I plan on doing, but I'm gonna go with red. So that's a coil of cable. So she's got cables there in case she needs them. Got the headphones on the whole time. Got the boom pole, like she's holding up the boom pole, and she is listening to the boom pole's audio and the two mics that are on her actor. She's listening to all three of them at once. Um, and as we're recording, she's like like holding the pole with one hand and adjusting the sound, like the levels bit by bit to try to make everything sound good. And in case if someone gets loud, she wants to compensate for that a little bit. Um, it's a nonsense impressive amount of gear and amount of like coordination, and amount of like strength that goes into being a sound op, and never uh it's never showcased, and really it should be. And Emo is a absolute soldier and trooper through this whole thing, so really magnificent work. Here we go. Wait, hey, what's that?
You got the drop down and everything. All right, Frank.
Action.
Go. Wait for that movement to sort of start. Cut and delete. Delete. Check this. Uh,
Take it.
Good. So we do that.
Cut.
Okay. Let's get to the end of this.
That's ridiculous.
I know.
Oh, look at that move. I love it. Oh, I cannot wait. This is not this is not tonight. This is Wednesday. Wednesday's edit is getting to
Quick, hide.
Madeline?
Coming, Rob.
bring on the chaos. Absolutely. All right.
5P, take one.
That is real quick for this being like his first time on set. That is some A plus slate work. Like just dropping it, letting it not forcing it. Just yeah. By the way, for anyone wondering, the reason we do that, I don't talk about. I talk about it occasionally, but I don't. I like to bring it up again. From every couple projects. The reason we do that is if you look at the audio waveform down here,
One.
you notice even that quiet click, we get this spike right there. If I go back to the workroom and pick a shot, I guess it would be one of these. Let's see if I can find the one. Uh, doesn't matter. Um, but yeah, so we take a look here. Um, if you look at, so like here's the mic audio, and you'll notice the waveforms are much bigger, and that's because like those mics are closer to the actors and they're better mics and so on. The camera audio in this blue line up top really is pretty minuscule. It catches the high points, but doesn't catch a lot of the detail. If we just listen to it here, listen to like, do something here with dialogue. Like you can barely hear it. It's super quiet.
What did your husband do to you?
Like, so it's and so like that can be if I try to tell Premiere to sync that, Premiere's like I've got nothing to work with here because the camera audio is so quiet. But that spike always creates a mark. And now I can kind of guess like okay, high point there, high point early in the take, and I can tell Premiere to sync those. Get it pretty close. There's like within a 1 frame margin of error here. Um, And that is for. That is what the if you're wondering what the the clappy board is for on a film set, that's the reason we have it. There are some that are modern ones that are have some tech in them and are linked to the time code, uh, and can be like synced up with the camera and the sound gear, so that you have like so that when you clap it, or when you when the when it connects, there's circuitry in it that like completes a circuit, and it sends a signal to both the camera and the sound, and kind of makes a mark, or kind of locks in the time code for a second. So if you weren't automatically syncing, you can drop in. You could just be like, oh, this is we know for this take, it's the time code is this on the camera, this on the thing, and we know if we line those up, we're gonna sync up the take. So that's a thing that happens. Um, there's software that does it, which is wonderful. There's software, at least one called Pluralize, which I've used in the past, and it's one of the every time I'm like, oh, I should spend some money on some new film gear. It's one of the ones that I always do consider, because you can really just feed. Like I can take all the footage from a movie and all the audio and just put it in all at once, and it'll find them and sync them and create a Premiere file. So anyway, that's what that is for. But I'm looking for the word action.
Frame. Frame.
Action.
There we go. Put a cut, delete, and delete.
Maddie?
I know.
Okay, cut there. We'll come back to the rest in a second. Okay. Once again, there's the spike. I think this is action.
Action.
Haha. Yep. Know what to look for. I know how Atlantis is action for most of this. Makes it easy. All right.
Slate. Sound rolling.
Camera rolls.
Is sound rolling?
Rolling, yeah. Okay.
Zakar, please read it.
5P, take 3.
Beautiful.
Real quick, guys. After this take, note after Lenny calls cut, don't move. Nobody move for a sec. I want to try something.
Alright.
All right, frame.
Alright, settle. Action.
I really should have said that before we started filming, before we got to that part in the setup, but uh, knowing me, I probably just didn't think of it until that last moment.
What? Why?
He thinks I'm stupid.
And
I know.
Cool.
Cut.
Quick, hide!
Madeline?
Coming, Rob!
Cut.
Cut. Camera rolls.
Cut.
Okay.
Cut.
Oh, that's gonna be good. Uh, is that what I was gonna do in the other takes? I think. Yeah. So I did in the other take. Which is good. I'm probably gonna use that take because I want to start later on. That's a Wednesday thing, but I want to start using that mirror because that mirror becomes important later. Cool. So yeah, again, like not necessarily setting up the shot, but setting up an element of the next beat at the end of this beat. All right. Now you notice this shot is P.5, which is a uh, it's P.5, which is in this case is a shot that we didn't plan, but we realized, oh no, we want this in close up after we saw these performances. So instead of adding a and then like honestly, the way you label shots is entirely up to you when you're making a movie. In this case, the usual kind of format for it. 5 is the scene, so it's in the script. It's scene 5. Um, Shot P is the shot. You usually go through the alphabet as opposed because it can get confusing if this was like if it's 5-1 take 1. Now it's like, okay, is this scene is this scene 5 shot 1 or is this scene 51? Uh, Especially when you get into bigger film, like the last script that I wrote. I want to say I'm into like I know I'm into I'm over 100 scenes. I think I'm 125 or 124 scenes. So that would be confusing. The other reason you do it this way is because sometimes you'll shoot multiple scene. You'll shoot if we had multiple scenes in this room that were conversations, we might have arranged these shots differently and kind of shot. Let's shoot this side of the room and then shoot that side of the room. So like this shot would be 5p, and then like the next shot from at a similar angle might be 7A or something. So there's like actually not if we do a different scene. If we cut to something else outside and then we come back in, cutting outside would technically be scene 6. So then coming back into the continuation of this scene would technically be scene 7, depending how you write it and how you organize it. Um, but yeah, so that's what that is, and then take is take one. P.5 here. Roll is usually originally was roll of film. Right now, in this case, we were using it for location, which is helpful. Um, Other times I just use it as a place to put puns. But P.5 lets me know that okay, this is not something you might do. P2, you might just rearrange the shot list and add in numbers, or you might do shot P different, shot P ending, whatever it is. Shot PC close up, CU. Shot PCU. No, PCU is the thing. But anyway, so that's what this is.
No.
Action.
There we go. Cut. Let's pull this back.
I don't care. Just
Maddie?
Cool. Cut. Not deleting the endings. I keep hitting the wrong button. I keep hitting the Windows key instead of Alt. All right. I'm guessing this is action.
Action.
There it is. And delete and clear.
No. Jeez. What'd your husband do to you?
Camera rolls.
Zakar.
5Q.5, take 1.
And here's the reverse.
Elena, real quick question. The hooks on that window are giving us some shadows on the door. I don't hate them, but they're there.
Take them off. I don't want
There's always that kind of adjustment on set, and so we're
Frame.
Action.
also like there's always that kind of adjustment on the day, and there's always like, all right, you got the frame set up. Let's take a look. I'm gonna real quick, Annabelle, if you're watching, I apologize for doing that right as you were getting into character. That was like I've been on the receiving end of that. I've also been um yeah, I've also seen edited projects where that kind of thing happened, and like you have a shot set up on an actor, and then a whole conversation or something keeps starts happening in the background because of whatever. And so yeah, I apologize for that. Like I didn't hope we didn't shake you up a bit by doing that, but okay, we got that take.
You're not stupid.
I know.
Maddie?
Man, the timing on that is gonna be interesting. My instinct is to let it go longer, but I know that's wrong.
Action. Action.
Cool, right there. Delete and close. Cool. All right, a few more here, guys. We're almost there.
Action.
You're not stupid.
I know.
Oh man, do I love that. That's spectacular work. Is that the one? Is that the wow shot? Is that the one where she says wow? Yeah. Yeah, that one. That's spectacular. That's just God, Annabelle. Jeez.
And frame. Action. Action.
Also, talk about you notice we're trimming off a whole lot, but at the beginning of takes, but even longer takes. Um, even like longer takes, it's not a the majority, but it's a it's still a noticeable percentage. With this shot, with this insert, it's literally like
Cool. Let's cut.
also the reason you're only hearing me here as opposed to Elena on this one is, but yeah, no, take a look. The amount we're deleting versus the amount that we're keeping is just, yeah, that's how it works on inserts a lot of the time. Um, uh, but yeah, in this case, this was a simple enough shot that Elena trusted me to handle it, and she stepped out to. I think we were about to do a coffee break because we're about to, the scene is about to substantially change. So I think we took a coffee break. And this was like the last thing we shot right before we went off to that.
Rolling.
So same
Hard.
deal. Delete. Cool. Okay, so the second take is a little more aggressive. I think the first take, the money drop is gonna be the one to use, just for at least because you actually see the money and it kind of has that little bounce. This one just like no questions, just thump, just straight in, and that's it. What is this?
Roll camera.
Sound rolling.
Okay,
Camera rolling.
this is the take I'm gonna start with on Wednesday. So here's what we got. So uh we've gone from 20 minutes to oh, didn't even look at the clock. We've gone from 20 minutes to 10. Give or take this extra, couple of or extra, half a minute there. So yeah, we went, literally 20 minutes cut down to 10 to watch through that. So, yeah, let's watch through this. And I can kind of feel myself starting to lose the momentum for tonight's session. Um, but yeah, take a look at this. Even if we don't actually fully put it together, we're gonna take a look and we're gonna prime ourselves for what's coming next. Oh, let's actually play it. So we've just opened the safe. Or right there, you see the door open.
How much do you want?
Enough to get a bus home.
Come on, that's no fun. How much do you want?
A bus home. And a few hot meals.
You've never done this before.
Not everyone's so lucky.
Take it all.
Okay. Pretty simple.
How much do you want?
Enough to get a bus home.
Oh, that's no fun. How much do you want?
A bus home. And a few hot meals.
You've never done this before.
Not everyone's so lucky.
Take it all.
What? Stop it!
And the reverse.
How much do you want?
Enough to get a bus home.
Come on, that's no fun. How much do you want?
A bus home. And a few hot meals.
You've never done this before.
Not everyone's so lucky.
Take it all.
I like that a lot, actually.
How much do you want?
Enough to get a bus home.
Oh, come on. That's no fun. How much do you want?
A bus home. And a few hot meals.
You've never done this before.
Not everyone's so lucky.
Take it all.
What?
Wow, that actually the cut from those two takes, honestly, that almost works by itself. Like that almost works on its own, though I do have that light to worry about. Um when you can't, when you don't have actual moonlight, just like stick little lights in the windows and just then create moonlight. That's what the moon really is. It's just tiny LED panels in all of your windows. The big thing in the sky doesn't actually giving off any light. It's all an illusion. Welcome to the Truman Show. Uh, okay. Um, so let's take a look at that moment. Let's take a look at. We got what 4 takes here? Yeah, we got 4 takes. Okay, nice and easy. Now, one thing that we didn't really talk about. I'm gonna cut and bring these over to the scene because I'm gonna work on them kind of as a collection, as a collective here. Let's push this way and paste. There we go. Cool. We talked about it a little bit when we did the scene on the staircase. We didn't really talk about it here. Um, is he asked how much money are we talking, and she said a couple hundred, and we weren't sure if that meant a couple 100,000 or an actual couple $100. Um, now we've opened the safe. We know it's not. We know we've got stacks of cash. Um,
How much do you want?
uh, so the question is now, how does he react? And how much of a reaction is this? Let's watch these takes.
How much do you want? How much do you want?
Enough to get a bus home.
I actually really like this. The focus here is so shallow. Like this side of his face is in focus, and this part's a little fuzzy. I actually really like that.
Oh, come on, that's no fun. How much do you want?
A bus home and a few hot meals.
You've never done this before.
Not everyone's so lucky.
Take it all.
All right, we've made comments that Arthur throughout this is just trying to survive. Where's my notes on this movie? My notes from conversations Elaine and I have had was trying where we should land here. Yeah, Arthur. Yeah, Arthur's looking for, is always trying to keep it, is more cognizant. This is one of the of like he's trying to keep track of everything that's going on around him. And whereas it's effortless for Madeline, uh it's a he's got a little more of a struggle. So this is the moment that kind of stops him dead.
How much do you want?
Enough to get a bus home.
Oh, that's no fun. How much do you want?
A bus home and a few hot meals.
You've never done this before.
Not everyone's so lucky.
Take it all.
What? Stop it!
Okay, I like that a lot. Let me take a look at Elena's notes here on this is M and N. Liked both. Second take was her favorite. Madeline shots. Second take, same thing.
How much do you want?
Enough to get a bus home.
Come on, that's no fun. How much do you want?
A bus home and a few hot meals.
You've never done this before.
Not everyone's so lucky.
You've never done this before.
Not everyone's so lucky.
Take it all.
What? Enough to get a bus home.
How much do you want?
Enough to get a bus home.
Oh, come on. That's no fun. How much do you want?
A bus home and a few hot meals.
You've never done this before.
Not everyone's so lucky.
I like that. That's actually fun. That's some fun, genuine friendship from the two of them. That's great. Okay, cool. So, leaning into the second take of Arthur and kind of splitting the difference on on Madeline. But let's go. Let's start with this. Okay, I'm gonna tweak this. I'm gonna go up to about.
How much do you want?
I'm gonna put a cut there. I'm gonna delete this stuff. I've said this before in terms of cutting audio. You want to cut on uh, you want like it's usually helpful to. Sorry, just checking video, checking notifications. That's all cool. Okay. Yeah, I've said this before in terms of cutting audio and cutting dialogue. Usually not a hard and fast rule, but a kind of a thing is cutting on harder consonants, so D's and T's and P's and K's, and other like things like that are is usually an easier cut. There's already it's I don't know how psychological this is. I don't know if there's always like already an assumption of a hard sound there, so we're already expecting something, so a cut there feels natural.
How much do you want?
So we're gonna cut this. I don't know if I want to delete this or not.
How much do you want?
Enough to get a bus home. To get a bus home.
I like this. I like that he's looking at thousands and thousands of dollars, and he's still. It's like no, I just literally just want a bus ride home. Makes me like Arthur more.
How much do you want?
Let's listen to some takes here. Find our favorites.
How much do you want? How much do you want? How much do you want? Do you want? How much do you want? How much do you want? How much do you want?
There's a bit of an audio blip there. Let's undo that.
How much do
I'm just gonna leave it at this smile right there. I'm gonna cut the dialogue on this one, because I kind of want to land on. I kind of want to stay on him
How much do you want?
until she says it, because this is a moment to. This is a moment to switch out. Like at this point, we've kind of been doing them as a team and them as a team. Um, But there we go. See, Shell Whelan knows the psychology of it. Um, uh, so, but yes, I think
How much do you
a little bit of a bit too long. But anyway, I was saying like up until this point, at least in the study scene, they've pretty much known all the same information. Like they pretty much they know the layout of the room. I mean, she knows where the safe is, but that's a small detail. The safe is not super well hidden. Um, and yeah, he like there's the guy at the door, and they both know he's got to hide. So they've been on the same footing. Now we open this door, like seriously Pandora's box level style. Let's see which starts. Let's put a bit of a cut there. Just I think there's a little bit too much door opening. Um, but like we open this door, this Pandora's box here. That's better. And all of a sudden we're staring at thousands.
how much
And I think that should be. I think this is a moment that he was certainly not expecting that. He's like he's a thief, but he's not a great thief, and he's not like it's just you've never done this before, and he's not looking to get rich off this. He's looking, his whole thing is, um, get in, get out, get in, get out, get lucky. Like he doesn't want to take. He's not looking to bankrupt people. He's not looking to. He's not. It's not a Robin Hood thing where he's got some high-minded. I say that with derision, even though like honestly, fuck the rich, steal all of their shit. Um, do it for your ideals, and because it'll be fun to watch them cry, but or fun to watch them try to pump their own gas, but or cook their own food. And but anyway, um, yeah, he's looking to steal, you know, maybe a few hundred just to like, he says bus ride home, few hot meals, just enough, enough to keep going for the next little bit. Um, and like, I mean, honestly, there's a world of this movie. I don't know if this is like I don't think this was never discussed. I'm just like I'm saying as an audience member who doesn't know uh doesn't know the script and doesn't know the backstories of the that the cast worked on, but like there's a version of this movie where like he ended up stranded somewhere in wherever he is. We know he's from Canada and this is in the U.S. But like his car broke down or he got stranded and just saw the party and decided I'm gonna go try to try to steal from them, or saw the house and decided I'm gonna try to steal something. Like that was his, and so like there's nothing to it's possible he's I mean, we know it's his first time. We know he's not looking to steal a lot. So the fact that he's now being given uh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's gonna find out what tongs are. Yes, those poor rich people who just I hope horrible things happen to them. Um but anyway, he's now staring at thousands and thousands that he wasn't expecting to have access. I mean, theoretically each of these little bundles is 10,000. Um and it's yeah, it complicates. It throws him for a bit of a loop.
How much do you want?
And so I'd like to let that play. This is the beginning of that take, so I already got that. Let's listen to some audio here.
Do you want? How much do you want?
It's not bad.
How much do you want?
Ew.
How much do you want? How much do you want? How much do you want?
I actually really like that.
Enough to get a bus home.
How much do you want?
I'm sitting here watching and feeling myself smile and knowing that like okay, that's the take. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna cut it. It sounds like in some ways like this take with her sounds a little hungry, but I think it also like I mean she's like this is a genuine friendship the two of them are forming, and I think just there's an excitement to her where she's like, I get to give him this, and like I don't. I'm assuming when she said that she doesn't know how much money's in the safe, I'm assuming she's got a guess that it's substantial. Um, so I'm assuming that she has an idea, and so she's kind of been like, I mean, almost like a surprise. I'm like, guess you're not gonna believe how lucky you are at the end of tonight.
How much do you want?
We'll put a cut there. Let's not do that. Let's just
How much do you want?
let's put a cut. Not cutting the video, just cutting the audio.
How much do you want?
Same. This one actually can be a full cut. Drop this in here. I think we stay on him for a second. We just hear her say it. Then we delete that. We pull this back.
How much do you want?
Cut there with that smile. That's the thing, and this is something. Hang on. You wear the headphones for 2 hours. This is something I like. I really, really like about Madeline's character. Because we've talked about, and we will continue to talk about her role, and kind of the um, sort of the femme fatale archetype that she's definitely messing with, and like sort of playing, but like you never really get to see femme fatales in film uh in film noir, and even like modern noirs. Like I'm thinking of like haven't had a lot of good modern noirs lately. That's kind of fallen out of favor for when you're not really doing crime movies because Hollywood has completely erased mid-budget productions. But um, when you do like even going back to something like Basic Instinct, you don't normally get like big genuine smiles out of characters. You usually get like if a femme fatale character smiles, it's usually kind of a like of course, kind of. It's a knowing kind of devious smile. So getting this kind of like like kind of almost like for lack of a better word, it's almost like a shit-eating grin out of her, and I really like that as a like it makes me like her more.
Enough to get a bus home.
Okay, except this is going on for way too long. Okay.
How much do you want?
All right, so he looks at her, and he looks at her, and she looks at him. There we go. We're gonna cut that a little shorter. Probably too long anyway, but first cuts are gonna be long, so we deal with it. So
Enough to get a bus.
okay, I do need to reframe her shots, but we'll get to that in a sec.
Enough to get a bus home.
All right, we're gonna extend this a bit.
Enough to get a bus home.
Oh, that's no fun.
Enough to get a bus home.
Oh, that's no fun.
I might keep it that way. I'm not sure. Let's see that. We're gonna delete the ending of that, and we'll come over to her take, which is this one.
Oh, come on. That's no fun. How much do you want?
Bus home.
Fun.
Again, she's making me smile, which means this is the right choice.
How much do you want?
Bus home.
How much do you want?
All right, thank you guys for putting some hard consonants at the end of your sentences, so I can cut between you guys nice and easy. Let's paste the correct thing.
Enough to get a bus home.
Oh, that's no fun. How much do you want? Fun. How much do you... That's no fun. How much do you want? How much...
Let's take about half of that off. So I'd like it to flow. I like that there's a little bit of a change of tone there, where she kind of gets a little more serious. This is what I talk about when I talk about like having different takes, different performances, sort of enhancing the performance. It's all her, and it's all true to her character. But like in this take, she's a little more goofy, and in the next take, she's a little more like, come on. And so this kind of by doing this, it kind of gives her the capacity to be both, and that makes her more interesting.
Oh, that's no fun. How much do you want?
Good. Let's go back to him.
Oh, that's no fun. How much do you want?
A bus home. And a few hot meals.
Want? Want?
So we delete this.
A bus home. And a few hot meals. Meals. A few hot meals.
Nope, wrong button. Let's use the right button there. Cool.
How much do you want?
A bus home. And a few hot meals. A few hot meals.
I'm gonna start cutting this a little bit quicker because there's a little bit of tension here, and I kind of like it gives us, you know, cutting a little quicker. Always, I feel like you should always cut quicker than you think you should.
Enough to get a bus home.
Oh, that's no fun. How much do you want?
A bus home. And a few.
Yeah, pacing's a little off there.
How much do you want?
Enough to get a bus home.
Oh, that's no fun. How much do you want?
A bus home. And a few.
I'm gonna give him a little more space. Not too much. Give him a little more space.
You want? How much do you want?
A bus.
How much do you want?
A bus.
You know what? That cut. I can't. I'm gonna. This is another reason I can tell we're doing this for 2.5 hours. I'm starting to wind down. So let me get through this little bit. I'm like, I know this is a moment I'm gonna come back and revisit. I'm actually gonna go ahead and put a marker there, so I know to come back. So he's at a bus home and a few hot meals. So we're now back to here.
Home. And a few hot meals.
You've never done this before.
You know, I actually think I liked that better in this take.
How much? How much do you want?
A bus home.
You've never done this before. You've never done this before.
There we go. I like that. I think she's just slightly more compassionate in this take, and I want to like she's I know the take we're gonna use when she says take it all. Let's go ahead and paste. Is very much is kind of a very I'm trying to help you kind of energy. So
Hot meals.
You've never done this before.
yeah, let's go with something that's a little gentler here.
Not everyone's so lucky.
You've never done this before.
I like those blinks he's doing.
This before. Done this before.
Not everyone's so lucky.
Then again, this moment needs to be quick, so.
Not everyone's so lucky.
Let's take that. This is a decision moment. Honestly, hang on.
So lucky.
Before he blinks. There it is. Let's put the cut there and take that. Come here. Right, you want to get to the next take. You want to know what's going to happen next. I'm not going to tell you. Paste.
You've never done this before.
Not everyone's so lucky.
You've never done this before.
Gonna split the difference there. Hey, here's a question to anybody watching who wants to chime in. I don't like it's almost 3 in the morning, so you know, if you're using this stream as a way to zone out, by all means continue. But the phrase "split the difference," is that like I encountered something today that said that was a film term. Like that's a Hollywood specific term, and I don't think that's true. Uh, so like I mean, have you heard that? Have you heard anyone watching? Have you heard that term before? Do you know what it means? Is it? I mean, it's fairly easy. I think it's fairly easy to figure out from context clues, but it's just I'm curious.
You've never done this before.
Not everyone's so lucky.
But I'm also gonna split that difference on here. Honestly, I think the first time I heard that term was on a carpentry project, not even film, but a like measuring and fitting kind of thing.
You've never done this before.
Not everyone's so lucky.
Something's off about that. I'm gonna make a mark there as well. Okay, so not everyone's so lucky. Back to her.
A few hot meals.
You've never.
Not everyone's so lucky.
Take it all.
Okay, there we go. So use it for cooking. That's a yeah. No, cooking is a good makes sense. It's a good use for it. Um. Also, yeah, decide. Yeah. All right. Good to know.
Take it all.
All right. So we're gonna take that moment. We like that. Let's go ahead and yeah. Should just label the buttons on this controller so I know what I'm doing. Paste. Save.
Not everyone's so lucky.
Take it all.
It's also worth noting that where's that GoPro shot? Because I need that again. Actually, we still have it in here. There we go. GoPro shot. Um, it's also worth noting plot-wise that him not wanting to take everything does actually go counter to her plans and her needs, um, because her goal here is to see her husband humiliated, and to watch him squirm when his money is gone. So uh, the uh, So if he only takes a couple hundred and her husband doesn't notice, then it doesn't serve her needs. So, but also I think she is like it's nice when like your character's like yeah, no, splitting the difference like no, it's like the term splitting the difference makes sense. Apparently, like somebody I heard a thing today where somebody was saying that that's like most commonly used in the film world, and I'm like I'm not. I mean, I use it a lot on set just in terms of tiny positions and get people to stand where you need and move lights and stuff, but it's I didn't think it was solely a film term, and I'm glad to have you guys confirm that. Um, like it certainly makes sense in other contexts. Uh, uh, um, that makes sense. Anyway, this is a cool moment where like character motivation and like character aspiration line up because yeah, she wants her husband humiliated. That's her goal here. But technically, if Arthur only took a few hundred, she's got the saving. She could take the rest of it and hide it somewhere or burn it or whatever and say that it was gone. Like that's a thing she could do. But I think in this moment she's become fond of Arthur and she's like, no. Like you're like, dude, you're like you deserve more than this. You're like, I know you haven't done this before and you're kind of new to the game, but like, dude, take it. You should have it all. Like a person like you should have the money more than him.
Take it all.
Stop.
So
Take it all.
put this cut here.
Stop.
Yeah, I don't want to use this shot for the whole thing because it does have it doesn't have their faces and it's like it's useful. There's a couple times this shot's gonna be used. We're gonna keep coming back to it until we close the safe, but this is the second time. Um, yeah, no, in this case, yeah, Shelby Lynn, you are pretty much spot on. Though, but even that's to say, like their wants and needs aren't. It's not even. And this is I think is interesting that it's not. I don't know how intentional this is, Elena. You can weigh in, but when you watch this and leave us comments. But paste. Um, I think in some ways the harder moral decisions and the harder decisions to stick to your guns on are not the ones that are the complete opposite of um like are the complete opposite of what you want, but are the ones that are just slightly off what you want. Um the like yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, all right, I'm trying to lose weight, I'm cutting out dessert. That's fine. I'm done I'm done with dessert. But like I mean, it's sweet tea. Like sweet tea is not dessert. It's like it's sugar, and I'm trying to cut it, but like it's a thing. Like that's the. It's also not true. I cannot let go of cookout milkshakes, so the dessert is always essential. But yeah, no, the idea that it's yeah, the idea that that's a harder decision to make. Like if it was, he's here, he's already planning on stealing money, but he wasn't planning on stealing this much, and now he's being offered it, and it's like, oh, he does kind of want it, but he knows it's like it is by doing this, he does up the stakes.
Take it all.
Okay, so the question now is, let's look at this shot.
Take it all.
This movement here is what I want.
Stop it! Stop it!
We're gonna put the cut there. We're gonna take this bit. This is kind of gonna be. This should finish us up for the night, which is exciting. That's our ending. Oop, nope, didn't want to do that. So. Let's get some big, yeah, big gloved hands coming at us on screen. This is, I don't know if I told you guys, but this movie's being planned for a 3D release. It's gonna be gonna play before Avatar, so we want to make sure we have as many shots of things coming at the camera as possible. Back it up to when she's kind of pulling past him, and we'll see if we can get these to work. Cutting on movement is the best thing. It's the best thing overall. Undo that. There's the GoPro shot. There we go. There's them coming together. Let's watch this.
Take it all.
All right, bit of a hiccup there. Let's tweak that. Yeah, I think her hands already being in there works. I don't think we need to see her actually touch the money. This isn't like him taking the money is, yeah, could be an important moment. Her touching it is like, nah, she's comfortable with it. Elena, if you disagree, by all means, tell me when you watch this. If you'd rather see her hands touch the money for the rather see someone, see the money untouched and then see someone physically put their hands on it for the first time in frame. Let me know. Cool. That works. I like that a lot. That movement actually works really well.
You've never done this before.
Not everyone's so lucky.
Cool. Okay. Let's adjust a couple small things with this, and I think we're going to call it a night. We've gone for 2.5 hours, and we've gotten through this part. I like this. I'm really happy. I might try to do the next shot. Honestly, I might keep going. We will find out. All right, so. All right, so step one, I'm gonna bring this in just a little bit. I want to get her out of his shot, except when I have to. So let's go to 107. Might be enough to give me the space just to be able to pull this a little bit that way.
How much do you want?
Good. Okay. Next thing, let me pull up. We've got a thing in here called comparison view that I don't really use that often. Let's go ahead and pull it up. Going to 12:07:08. Which takes us there. Now I can cut to her shot here. I can click this, which will give me a side-by-side of the two. It's not exactly a great frame for her. There we go. Let's get those eyes. Cool. So now I'm going to bring this in to, let's try 120. Let's see if that's enough. Because I want to try to match head sizes as much as I can. Now it's not big enough. Let's go bigger. Let's try 135. That's probably too big. Actually, it's not bad. It's actually pretty close. Kind of cutting it off right about the hairline, keeping the eyes more or less intact. That works. Okay, so 135. And now I'm going to adjust this shot. Actually, let's go back to comparison view for a sec. Let's go back to side by side so I see the whole frame. Thank you. Actually, kind of gives us this little butterfly effect with the doors. Just the right amount of space next to her. Let's give her a little more space, just a tiny bit, because I like having a touch of that lamp in there. Cool, we'll turn that off. So this now goes like this. Yeah. Do you feel that? Is that just me? Like, do you feel like we automatically connected with her more because we're closer to her and they're the same size? You're not. Yeah, that just looked for some reason. That's it's a tiny change. I feel like, but it makes such a huge difference. All right, we're gonna copy that and we're going to do an attribute paste on every shot of her throughout this, just like this. Paste just the motion. Okay. So now every shot of her we have now zoomed in to that same frame. I'm going to have to adjust them a little bit as she moves. We're going to do the same thing with him. I'm going to copy his shot and do the same thing. And we're going to do an attribute paste with the motion checked as well. Good.
Enough to get a bus home.
Oh, that's no fun. How much do you want?
Good. All right, this one here. I'm gonna move her in a little more, just a bit. Maybe a teeny bit up.
Oh, that's no fun. How much do you want?
A bus home.
This shot, we're gonna again do the same. Oop, oh, wrong X and Y. Let's see. It's just the X-axis, not the Y. There we go. A little bit down.
Want.
A bus home. And a few hot meals.
This one we're gonna bring down a little bit. Actually, I'm going to 1134. What's that? Actually, that's not bad. Let's bring it down a little bit. And then what's the number here? 1862 instead of 1926. Boom. There we go. Bring that in.
Hot meals.
She's a little high there. His eye line's about that. Her eye line's a little bit high, so let's bring that down a bit. Just like that.
Hot meals.
You've never done this before.
Not everyone's so lucky.
Alright, I want to move him out a bit if I can.
Before.
Not everyone's so lucky.
Cool. And this one we're gonna come down. Come over a bit.
Okay.
Take it off.
There we go. Cool. And this shot can be its usual wide, as wide as it can, because it's a change in energy. Excellent. What's this? That's the continuation of that. All right. I think what we're gonna do is because I know what's coming up, and I'm excited to work on what's coming up. So let's see. There's two things I want to do. I'm gonna take these shots. I'm gonna put them back down here at the end, so that they are still kind of, so that they're still here, but they're not cluttering up the next spot. Next thing I want to do is I want to tweak this. I want to get this shot locked in, because this is another insert that we had some movement with, and we did multiple takes in one shot. So I want to pick out the shot.
Zakar, say
5S, take 1.
Quick check on 5S. 1, 2, 3. Take 2 is the best according to Elena. Let's take a look.
Emma, I need you to pull back a little bit. So
okay. I'll pull back with you. Yep.
that sounds good. All right.
This is one of the few times we actually did a big impressionistic move.
Also trying not to trip you with the wire.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Robert, you ready?
I am.
Cool. Zakar, step out.
Come over here, Zakar, because the light.
All right, and frame.
Quiet on set and action.
Maddie, you in there?
Okay, that's not bad. That first take's pretty good.
Frame.
Action.
Get a little bit of movement there.
Maddie, you in there?
It'll be fun talking through.
A little bit. Can he rattle the doorknob a little bit?
Yeah, can we do that? Yeah.
Oh, quick discussion of on-set etiquette. Just because I've been doing this for 2.5 hours, and apparently I'm not done talking. But yeah, quick discussion of on-set etiquette. The um the let's see. Where was I going with this? Yes. So usually, and this is like sign of respect kind of thing, and also just depending on, some sets do really rigidly enforce this. Direct, like, as cinematographer, I shouldn't be directly giving the actors notes unless it's really specific to camera. Um, So like, there's a moment earlier where you heard me say, "Can you guys, after this take, can you guys just get, do this? I want to try something." Um, and that is a mark of, I think, just the energy Elena to a picture Elena directs, and the relationship she and I have, where like we've got a little, like, I've got a little more with her. I've got a little more latitude than a typical cinematographer would, working with a, kind of the standard director, as if a standard director exists. But here, let me see if I.
Can he rattle the doorknob a little bit?
Yeah, can we do that dialogue exchange?
Yeah.
So by saying, so what I'm saying, can he rattle the doorknob? I'm not like, I think he can hear me, but I'm directing that question to Elena, because it's like, it's a visual choice that I would like, but it is her call, and it's not. And if I went ahead and said, "Hey John, go ahead and rattle the doorknob this time," um, if Elena doesn't want that, she's got to tell me no, and now it seems like we're both competing for authority, and so on and so forth. And there's been times where I've known that's actually been the case, that like directors and cinematographers, or directors and producers, or directors and actors have gone back and forth with, here's what here, not liking the director's vision for something, and so they do, they start trying to direct it, and kind of add their own little thing that's contrary to what the director wants. But so yeah, typical on set, and it's not even a, um what's the line from Pacific Rim, where Charlie Hunnam's character is asking Rinko Kikuchi about, like, why she's, why she's, just seemingly blindly following Idris Elba's orders, and says, like, why, you don't have to, you know like, um I forget the word she actually uses, um but it might be like, it's, why you don't have to blindly follow him, and she tells him it's not blindness, it's respect. uh and I think it's not, it's not about, um yeah, it's not even like, Elena, she and I have this relationship where, like, she's okay with me giving direction to actors, like, for certain for certain visual details and movement and stuff. She's fine, like, because that's how we've agreed to split up the job. But um like, there is still that hierarchy that, like, you know is, like, she and I, it's there. It's not because uh not because we're rigidly following someone else's rules, but because there's a mutual respect there. But that's a note about on-set etiquette.
Quick hide.
Yeah. And action.
Okay, let's go ahead and put a cut there.
Maddie, you in there?
Quick hide.
Actually, that was
In there?
Quick hide.
actually that cut was premature.
Maddie, you in the movie? Yeah. Maddie, you in the movie? Yeah. Maddie, you
There we go. It's always that little, when you start moving. There's the same way as, like, right on action. There's always that little pause with actors, with camera, especially handheld stuff. There's always that little, like, little side to side wiggle. Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Microsoft. I don't really need the weather.
in there?
Quick hide.
Actually, there's a little bit of a hang up there too,
Quick
which that move actually starts happening.
hide.
Madeline.
Coming, Rob.
All right.
I'll keep going till he actually gets the door open, because technically that door's supposed to be locked. All right, and we did another take.
Don't even do the dialogue, Robert. Just rattle the doorknob. And action.
I think I know why we aren't going to be using take 3. But also, yeah, take a look at this. So this shot, as is, was, let's see, 57 to 58, so but yeah, it's about a minute and a half, and we are deleting that and that. Uh, Thank you, Shelby Lynn, coming in with the quotes. Yes, you don't have to just obey him. It's not obedience, it's respect. Yep, there it is. Thank you. That's the end of the take, so I can delete that. Yep. Cool. So that is nice. We've got another big moment coming up, which I'm really excited for. Yes, that's yep. No, that's I think I'm streaming from the future here because there's a bit of a delay. But yes, that's 100% the quote I was thinking of. Also, if you haven't watched Pacific Rim, watch Pacific Rim. It is phenomenal, and it is if you went into either Transformers or like Godzilla movies and were like something about this isn't clicking for me, something about this feels like I want to see what would happen if one of these movies was made by some. All right, I'm not gonna prior to the new Godzilla movie. So like coming in like this is 2012 Pacific Rim. So we're talking Michael Bay Transformers and we're talking like Matthew Broderick and Roland Emmerich Godzilla. If if you wanted if you went into those movies because you were excited for that kind of thing and you were disappointed because the movies are made by like filmmakers who are less interested in telling good stories there as they are in visuals, in frenetic visuals, um, you Pacific Rim is the movie you were waiting for. Pacific Rim is a giant robots versus giant monsters movie directed by an Oscar winner, who like Guillermo del Toro, who is just specializes beyond belief in like in like monstrous stories that have real like gentle humanity at the core. Like yeah, if you haven't watched Pacific Rim, watch the fuck out of Pacific Rim. It is a masterpiece. Um, okay. So yeah, we've got this close up coming up, and I love this. This is the first time we've really gotten a really good Madeline close up where we really get to the core of her. And I'm so excited to work on that. So that is where we're gonna pick up next time. Because we got a good amount done tonight. We got where did we start and where did we end? We started yeah no we started here more or less. We started with the safe, and we've gotten starting there. We've gotten to there. There you go. Almost 3 hours. We've gotten just over 2 minutes done, and that sounds pretty standard for editing. So anyway, that's where we're at. That's what we've got so far. So thank you all for joining. We'll be back on Wednesday to work on uh, to get through to finish this little moment up, get a nice, really beautiful moment of connection between Madeline and Arthur, and then we're gonna find out who's on the other side of the door and find out. We're how far into the movie are we? This is let's see. So if we keep this all the way it is, this moment ends at 5:30. We're just adding another 2 minutes, probably add another 30 seconds by the time we finish. So 5:30, 8 minutes. So 8 minutes into the movie, and we're about to find out what Madeline's afraid of. So yeah, that's exciting. That's something to look forward to. So anyway, thank you for joining tonight. Thank you so much for being part of this. Thank you to like Shelby Lynn and Stephanie for chiming in. Thank you to Elena for the comments you have undoubtedly left on this YouTube link since you as you've watched it in the near future. So yep, calling you out. I thank you for the comments. I will say I think I agree with almost all of them, but that third one I think is a little bit I don't know. I think it's a little bit more George Miller than I think you want to go. I think you want to aim for something a little more like a little more Spike Jones. So maybe think about that and look at that third comment you made. But otherwise it's great. And thank you for leaving comments. I'm so excited to be collaborating on this with you as always. Um, to the cast, the crew, if you guys watch this, you guys were and are and continue to be a dream. I am honestly like I mean I do love editing. Editing is one of my favorite things to do, but it's just the uh like when Elena asked me, like I didn't originally ask to edit. She hired me to be cinematographer, and editor was kind of up in the air. And she made some comment about like that we have a very talented editor who's gonna handle the main cut of the movie. And then she after she said that to somebody, she turned to me and was like, "You're gonna edit it, right?" And I was like, "It's me? Okay, that's cool." And I was so excited. And then working with you guys on set and like put it in getting these performances and these shots, I'm even more I like this is such a dream to edit. You guys are a blast. So, okay. With that said, we've been going for almost 3 hours, and I gotta tell my computer to render a whole bunch of other things. So, thank you so much. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being part of this. I'm gonna jump back to myself real quick just to bring that up. There we go. And yeah. So yeah. I could say thank you again, just in a bigger on a bigger screen. But yeah, thank you for being part of this. Thank you for watching. Go out there and make a difference. Like every difference matters, and like right now we can use all the differences we can get. Um, because we got one side trying to kill us and one side uh and the other side kind of trying to placate us. Um, which yeah, it's enough to make you want to burn shit down. Um, so and burning stuff down counts as a difference. I'll let you know that that gives you that's a tick mark on the box. But be there for each other, be strong, take care of each other, and then when the moment comes, strike a match. All right, good night, stay safe, and yeah, be awesome and fight back.